Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the show. I think this is a B flat. Actually, I don't know who has perfect pitch out there. Not me. I don't know if I would want perfect pitch, but you know what is perfect? The artist on this show. That's right. This is the Quarantine Concert Series. I'm your host, Kippy Segel. Can't get rid of us, can you? Try as you might. Can't get rid of us. This is show number 59 in 40-something consecutive days. Thank you for all the love and support you're showing the artists on this broadcast. I'm coming to you live, as always, from the Riviera, as you can see. No, but really, I'm coming to you live from my parents' house in the ATL, Atlanta, Georgia, where I'm sequestered. It's a nice day today. It was like 72 and sunny. And, my parents are upstairs. They're under strict instructions not to watch, but I think my mom secretly watches all these shows. So again, hi, Mom, I really need the Wi-Fi. So can you please get off and we can present the incredible artist. All right. So basically, the quarantine is canceled all the gigs. A lot of musicians have lost their way of life. It's very unfortunate. So we started the series in earnest over a month and a half ago now to put the spotlight back on the artists, back on the people who deserve the love and energy, and they keep us motivated throughout the year. So I thought, why not put the spotlight back on them? Because so many gigs have been canceled. Carnegie Hall has canceled until 2021, some of their gigs, some of their concerts. And, are you going to be the first person in a concert hall? Are you going to be the first person in a movie theater? So there's a lot of concern out there about, of course, through the public health initiatives as to when it's going to be safe to gather together and celebrate the wonderful gift of music. So that's what we're doing. It's a multi-billion-dollar impact. It's not just the artists, it's the who are impacted. It's the producers, engineers, bookers, promoters, anyone who supports the artist, the managers. So that's what's concerning, and that's why we're here to make this happen. So let me tell you about. First, I want to thank the folks at All About Jazz for all their partnership throughout the last few sessions, and they broadcast some of our shows. So Michael Ritchie started All About Jazz in 1995, a comprehensive resource for jazz. If you're an artist, please go there, make an artist webpage. If you're a patron, please go there, please go be there. And you know what to do. So the other thing is, I would say we have a word of the day. We started a new initiative to increase our music education. And before the word of the day right now is film. Let's go back to the film. The film part is we started a quarantine film series that we put the spotlight on filmmakers. I just finished making my first film and I realized all the films are gone. All the films have gone away. And it's kind of sad. So 10:30 in the morning, most mornings now, we're hosting conversations with filmmakers who made films that have been selected in South by Southwest in the Tribeca Film Festival. So we did one this morning that was about entrepreneurship and the coming of age story in New York City. And next week we have some interviews lined up. So we're started a quarantine film series to converse with filmmakers. All right, now we go to the word of the day. Artist today, her name starts with a C. So this is in honor of her. The word of the day is caccia. Caccia, an Italian music style. This is very, very narrow. An Italian musical style of the 14th and 15th centuries, containing a text which describe hunting scenes. Usually the music consists of a canon of the upper voices by an independent tenor. So that's what caccia is. So this will be a word of the day. This will be a pop quiz at the end of the session. If you can tell me what the pop word of the day is, and we'll give you a prize. So please, 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 caccia. That's the word. If we're going to go hunting, it's going to be caccia. All right. So where can you find us? Basically, Facebook. You can find us on Twitter. You can find us on the Instagram. Very delicious. Let me see here. I haven't been looking at Instagram. I'm now the Tiger King. What happened to all the comments? I'm on Tiger King right now on Instagram for all you watching. Okay. That's enough of that. But I'm also LinkedIn. A lot of people have lost their jobs. So if you're looking for a job right now, sorry, one in every 5 Americans have lost their job. So we hope you stay with us for the hour. We'll keep you motivated, inspired, return you to your job search so you can crush it. All right, we're also on YouTube and the Twitch. So for the one person watching on Twitch, thank you. You're very dedicated. You could be watching gaming right now, but why not music? So appreciate it. All right, cool. So that's where we are. If you want to be a guest on the show, please let me know. We're booked for the next few weeks. Bit of a waiting list, but we read all the requests. Facebook, Instagram, hit me up, and we'll navigate all of the requests. And we try to mix it up. We've been doing a lot of jazz recently. I've been doing a lot of blues recently. So trying to mix up all the genres so they all get some love on the broadcast. All right, with that, I want to thank, now for the best part of the show, we want to go to the incredible artist, singer-songwriter artist, extraordinaire, recently put out an album, which we'll talk about. And I think you all some of you know who she is. If you're meeting her for the first time, you're going to be blown away with her artistry and craft. And she really is someone who is melding many styles to create her own aesthetic. And that's kind of rare when someone can kind of bring a lot of forces together and create their own sound and do it in a very sort of signature fashion. So please welcome to the show, live from the Midwest, Cami Galles.
Hi, Kabir. Hi, everyone. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, well, tell us where you're broadcasting from.
So I am actually broadcasting from my home state of Kansas.
Nice. And are you based in Kansas, or did you flee to Kansas?
I fled, but I think I might be based here from now on. I used to live in New York City and then moved from New York City to Chicago, and my tour got canceled because of COVID and all the unfortunate events that happened. And I came back to be closer with my family, and I've had a place here, and I've made it so homey. And being close to my family has just been so wonderful that I don't think I'm going to be leaving. Even though we still have our places in Chicago, but I don't know. We'll have to see what the year holds.
Gotcha. If you can talk a little closer to the microphone.
Sure.
I do want to ask, what is a day like in the life of Cami Galles? Like, what do you do? Do you have a routine? Do you go for a daily walk? What's that about?
I do have a routine. So I am my own business manager, social media manager, songwriter, producer, vocal engineer, and sync agent and music agent. So the day in the life of Cami is pretty crazy. And day of the life in Cami quarantine was a little bit different, but now it's back in full speed. I had a really challenging time with just the whole tour being canceled, South by Southwest being canceled, where I had a lot of really career making meetings set up and some really amazing performances. So it was really hard to kind of just have to stop all that momentum that I've been working on tirelessly for the better part of 4.5 years, to have to just stay inside and not meet those fans that I've been so excited to meet in person and hug and share about our favorite parts of the song and the lyric and just really learn from them. So I really was in a bit of a down spot, and then also everything that I do to be able to afford my music also took a hit, because I'm my own patron. I pay for all of my own production and all of my own things, and my own company and my own publishing. So my I guess you would call them side gigs of consulting and dabbling in real estate really took a hard hit with everything going on with COVID. So it was a bit of a mad dash to figure out, how do I as an artist still maintain creativity, still keep that income coming in, and still have a way to pay my bills, because all of those things aren't going to stop, even though yes, we're paused, but at the very root of it, I knew that I still had to have my creativity. So I spent a lot of time reading and meditating to be able to get in a better headspace. So my day now looks like waking up with exercise, getting my hustle juice together, which is a strong cup of coffee, and then hopefully banging out a couple of hours of songwriting, and then doing some consulting on Spotify work for myself and other bands that I believe in, and being with my family.
Smart. Is there a daily walk in there?
There is a daily walk. I am very lucky that our place here in Kansas is just literally 0.6 miles from my best friend of 23 years. So sometimes she'll wave at me through the window and I can kind of walk 6 feet from her. on that odd chance. But yes, there is a daily walk, or at least 2 times a week walk.
I'm glad you're able to get out and around. For those, you're our first guest that's broadcasting from Kansas. So tell us, what is like the one thing you've got to do when people come to Kansas?
The one thing you have to do when you come to Kansas, you have to go to Green Lady Lounge. They have the best jazz, and you also need to have Kansas City barbecue and ribs specifically. Kansas City ribs are the best in the world, and I would definitely recommend going to LC's for ribs.
Sounds good. I know my man Camilo, who's on the technical side here, his mouth is probably watering because he loves good food. All right, so we'll have to make a date when we out to get out to Kansas to go to these incredible places to eat. Um, Tell us about your new album.
So my new album Correlated came out last year. I actually released it on my birthday, and I learned probably shouldn't be doing anything that monumental on my birthday other than celebrating myself. But it was such a huge life-changing event, and just the reception from the album has been wonderful. And the album, what it's about, it's really an evolution of all the relationships in my life, whether my relationship to music, to someone that I thought I was, in love with, to the end of the earth, to even the relationship I have now. I have a song about my husband on the album. And all of these things really taught me that the most important relationship I was really just ignoring for the last years that I've been on this earth, and that was the relationship with myself. So I've learned that when you put yourself forward and when you really think about, am I happy with me? Am I living for me? What does that look like? So it's really an evolutionary tale about how all these relationships really just brought me back to understanding I need to focus on myself. And if people consider that selfish, I really beg them to kind of think about, if they feel that way, maybe it's because they're not prioritizing themselves and they're living a life for someone else. Because I was guilty of doing that. I was doing just that. So it was really kind of a wake-up call.
Well, we love to hear something. What would you like to perform for us first?
So I am going to be playing the really stripped down, just bass and drums version of all of these songs so that we can bring them to you guys live without them getting shut down on the stream. And the first song that I'm going to be playing for you guys is Liar. All right. Here we go. Coming home at 7 a.m. I ain't even gonna wonder where you've been. Got glitter all over your hair. It's clear you've been paying for attention. Ooh, I see those red flags waving. And honey, I'm escaping. Ooh, baby, I ain't calling you a liar, but where there's smoke, there's fire. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Ooh, baby, I ain't calling you a liar, but where there's smoke, there's fire. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Worst fear is to be alone. Can't leave the room without your phone. Lots of girls who are just friends. Who you kidding? 2 years and I haven't met your family yet. Oh, I see those red flags waving. Ooh, baby, I ain't calling you a liar, but where there's smoke, there's fire. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Ooh, baby, I ain't calling you a liar, but where there's smoke, there's fire. Oh, the smoke, there's fire. Where the smoke, there's fire. Ooh, baby, I ain't calling you a liar, but where there's smoke, there's fire. Where there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah, awesome.
Woo.
They're clapping in Atlanta. Show some love for Cami. Tell us where you're watching from, too.
Tell us what?
To the audience. We got some love from Shirley. The Simpsons are up in here. Maxine's got you covered. Mexico's in the house.
Ooh, Mexico. Yeah.
Hola, Mexico.
Hola.
We got my man in some love coming to you in Singapore. Aditya in Singapore, checking you out. New Jersey in the house.
Jersey. That is good.
Yeah. All right. Miami's in the house. Boom. See, they all are very well trained, the clap track. So if you're watching at home, you have a question for Cami, please drop it in the comments, and I'll be sure to ask her. Also, tell us where you're where you're watching from. We have Kansas and Georgia in the house, and it looks like we have Minnesota and Sydney and Chicago, New Jersey. So we want to know where you're watching from. So because Cami couldn't go on tour, we're trying to tell her all the places and show her the love that maybe the tour could have been. So she's going to be live everywhere at once. So tell us, who is that song about?
Oh my gosh, Kabir, I can't tell you who that song is about. I had a feeling you were going to ask me that. I can tell you, I can't name names, it was about, someone that I dated for a really long time in New York City. And, the guys in New York City would probably say the women in New York City are horrible, but I think the guys are worse. And I know that you're normally in New York City, but being there for 9 years and dating somebody for a very long time, and they're just in Never Land. They are always on the, I'm not ready to settle down. And are you kidding? At your age, I mean, yikes, and I think I'm a catch. So that song was kind of like, listen, I don't need to change you. I'm not going to call you a liar, but I don't have to really buy what you're selling. And, I feel, unfortunately, a lot of people have had liars that they've been in relationships with, and don't ignore those red flags, because I did. And like I said, I spent way too long in a relationship, and now I know. And now I found a really good one, so I'm pretty lucky.
Gotcha. Susie wants to know, what do you do to stay positive right now?
Oh my gosh, Susie Moore. What I do to stay positive is I listen to a lot of Abraham Hicks. I talk to my friend Susie. She checks in on me. She texts me, which is amazing. I also, I really like to just look at the skyline. That really helps. I mean, I'm not in such a crowded city anymore, so I can actually see the sky. So just spending time staring off literally into space has been helpful. And having tea and making that a part of my, routine of just, there's something to be said about drinking a hot cup of coffee or tea and just really taking it all in. And baths. I am now a person that takes baths. So
wonderful. If you could put your mic in the 12 o'clock position. So you have your hustle juice in the morning, the coffee.
Hustle juice, yes.
And then you have the power, or is it a weak tea or a strong tea?
It's a strong tea. I really like chai tea. So I will even double up on that. So I'm a big tea drinker. And then I have my nighttime tea, chamomile tea, that I drink at night.
Gotcha.
So super caffeinated.
Isaac wants to know about your songwriting process, how you go from idea to putting it down and recording it.
Isaac, I love that question. So for me, I have been very lucky in the sense that when I was younger, my parents, they're not musicians, and they could understand that I knew how to sing. And I had a teacher named Earl Coleman, who's amazing. And I was classically trained. And so I understood what the sounds sounded like, the keys, the notes, to understand that when an idea came to me of a song, so lyrics, and when I sang them in a certain way, I already knew, okay, that's the key of B flat or C sharp, and I could really pin down a melody. So for me, the creative process first starts with, and what I call what I receive as my digital download or gift of songwriting is just a hook, right? It's something that you remember. So from Liar, it's, ooh, baby, I'm not calling you a liar, but, where there's smoke, there's fire. So where there's smoke, there's fire, really, it was a big thing for me. And I'm like, well, how can I really turn this into an anthem for people not to ignore red flag? So the ideas come, I write the lyrics down, and then I write the melody down, which is the notes of which you sing the lyrics. And then I work with a really great producer in Chicago named Joe Hurt, and we kind of look at what the sonic identity is of the song, and then we build the track around it. So I'd say I first start with the lyrics and the melody and kind of the mood of what I want it to be, the tempo, what's the vibe, and then what instrumentation I want. I'm a big piano person, so all of my tracks are really piano and organ heavy. So that's how it literally goes from start to finish.
Got it. It is correlated the title. This is what Samantha wants to. Is correlated the title, like the connective tissue of all these songs, that all these songs are in the same direction.
Yes. So all of these songs are correlated. All of these songs are about a relationship in life that I've personally had with either myself, a family member, an ex-boyfriend, or my current husband, and then my relationship or a message to myself. So as I said earlier, all the relationships that we have in our life, they're all correlated back to our relationship with ourselves. So if we're not feeling great and we're not in a place where we love ourselves, we're not really going to be able to find a loving relationship.
Got it. And how has songwriting been sort of a source of therapy or release for you, or is it that?
I would say it's definitely a sense of therapy, but it's really hard. It's like it would be like seeing your therapist. If you have one, I think everyone should have one. I do tapping weekly, which is amazing with my therapist. But it's like going to your therapist, recording the session, and then playing that session for everyone to hear, which is terrifying at some times. A song that we'll get into later is a song that was really challenging that for me to write, that I didn't think people were going to like, and it was very vulnerable, and I thought there's no way I could put this on the record and on the album, and I did, and I'm glad I did. But it's a very scary therapy because you're most vulnerable when you're speaking from your soul, something that's important to you. It's good to get that out, but it's very hard to know that people are going to be, you put that out there for them people to say, I love it or I don't love it, So it's 100%. Therapeutic.
Well, we love your music. We love to hear another song.
All right. So my next song is going to be No Light. And as we chatted about for the new people that are coming on, it's going to be a stripped down version of it. And I encourage everybody to go check it out on Spotify or whatever their music platform is to hear the real version. All right. Thick as thieves at 17, never left my side, thought you knew loyalty. You gave me a V card and I gave you my heart. I thought that stood for something. I've got a light in my heart. Used to shine for you, but now it's dark. I don't know how to turn it back on. Used to shine for you, but now it's dark. Now it's dark. shatter my world into evil pies. You didn't defend me from your friends with evil hearts. They called me and other hateful things. Your weakness broke us, not me. I've got a light in my heart. Used to shine for you, but now it's dark. I don't know how to turn it back on. Used to shine for you, but now it's dark. I've got a light in my heart. Used to shine for me, but now it's dark. I don't know how to turn it back on. Used to shine for you, but now it's dark. Now it's dark. All right, everybody, thanks for bearing with us on that. That was No Light.
Yeah. Brava. Yeah. Get some love for Cami up on the screen. Put some claps up there. There we go. Here comes the love. Shirley's got you hooked up with some. If you do it as an emoji, I will do it in person. So you have the applause over here. We got some of this going on. All right, this is going to take a while.
Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. Woo! And we're seeing all your comments. We're seeing them all.
We got color claps. My hands over here. Brown man over here.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love it. Love it.
We need to make sure artists get their daily dose of applause. So
could be your I love you. You could just do that every day for me. That would be great, you know?
Oh yeah. See. Yeah, so that is the claps. That's the love. You feel loved?
I love it. I feel loved, and I just love the fact that everyone's here on Friday night when there's so many other live streams, but they're here with us.
Yes.
Which is amazing.
Friday Night Lights from Kansas and Atlanta and all over the world. A lot of questions. This is kind of, people want to know, first of all, what is that song about? Who is that about?
Oh, who is that? I love how everyone just wants to know, who are the songs about? Who are they about? So there actually is an article online if you want to go read about it. If you Google Cami Galles, No Light, you can actually read more about it. So Music Buzz wrote a big feature when that single was released in January. And it really goes into kind of the whole basis of that song. And so I'd love for you guys to check that out. But to tell you quickly what is it about and who is it about, it is actually about my high school sweetheart. So I just, was really, really in love, and oh, young love. I think we've all been there. We think it's going to be the end of our lives when you break up. And, I kind of felt that because I didn't expect my, ride or die, who we were planning to, go to college together and spend the rest of our lives together. I didn't really expect that, that they would have friends that would be so hateful to me and that they wouldn't defend me. And so having gone through that, it just showed me what type of person that they were. And then that really made me think, okay, I've got to be my own, advocate. I really have to pick up the pieces and move on because, yes, I'm really young. And while I was super sad it didn't work out, it was just one of those things that, stuck with me in terms of, you can never let someone who says they love you allow other people in their lives to treat you poorly. So that's just something I learned and took away from that.
Totally. Jamila wants to know your top artistic inspirations.
My top artistic inspirations are, does she mean other singers or just
other singers? I mean, I think it's an open-ended question. You have the floor, so however you want to answer it. Jamila did not specify, so you're going to get whatever answer Cami wants to give.
Well, Jamil, I'm going to tell you two things. I love and live for Prince. He recently passed away. It would have been when he passed away earlier this week. I love Amy Winehouse, love Aretha Franklin. So those are my music inspirations. Living inspirations would definitely be Yiba, Susan Tedeschi, Bonnie Raitt. I'm a huge blues fan. I have a lot of influences, even though a lot of my music would be considered pop, but it's all tied in with blues and 1/4/5 chord structures. Musical inspiration would be life experiences that I've had, and just really deep emotions that I felt from when I've been at my highest points in life and when I've been at my lowest points in life.
Yeah, exactly. Is there a when you think about songwriting, is that who are the best songwriters? I know you mentioned some of them, but is there anyone you really admire for the craft of putting the words and lyrics down on the page?
I mean, I really, really do enjoy, Amy's lyrics because it's just,
Yeah.
she's writing from a place that was just from another world. But to me, the best songwriter alive and just the best songwriter in general is Dolly Parton. I mean, the
Hmm.
woman is just
Icon.
unbelievable. I mean, a lot of people don't know that she wrote the Whitney Houston's greatest song, and she's just written so many songs for other people. More modernized songwriters that are just killing it are obviously, Megan Trainor is exceptional. And then a number one producer that really doesn't get songwriting credit, but he gets huge producing credits would be Mark Ronson. I mean, that
Yeah.
guy, everything he touches just is literal gold. Even though he
Yeah.
did 24 karat gold with Bruno Mars, but he's the best.
Yeah, he really is. What is future blues?
Future blues is bringing electronic elements into what would normally be a traditional acoustic instrumentation. So a lot of folks that aren't into blues don't understand that blues is just a tried and true recipe of the same chord order for every single song, 1/4/5, 1/4/5. And the blues as we know it, that exists, is played by an electric guitar, a bass, drums, and then maybe another counter guitar or harmonica. There's not a lot of electronic elements ever. If you went to a blues concert, you wouldn't expect to see someone like me who's literally building the song as I go on stage. So for me, I'm taking that fundamentals of the blues, like the dirty seven chords or things that sound bluesy, and I'm marrying them with congas or reggaeton elements, or replacing what would be a traditional instrument and digitizing it or distorting it and really kind of melding it to make it more modern into kind of more of a pop thing. It's something that appeals to me in storytelling as well as the younger generations.
How do you find it resonating with audiences? Because this is a very new sound, I think. And do you ever find a difficult time placing which playlist you should be on or what venue should book you because of this new sound?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something that all musicians struggle with, and I'm not apart from that in the sense that everyone wants to understand what genre are you, and when you have to limit things into a specific genre, it really kind of hampers your creativity and your storytelling with the audience. So I feel the future blues is resonating with the younger audience because it is so digital. I don't have a instrumentation of a backing band. It's all me in the box, and then recreating it on stage. So I feel like it resonates. I have had a little bit of tricky times with booking the venues that I would normally want to go to because they just want to have an acoustic instrumental band. They're not ready for, kind of what Ed Sheeran is doing, which is a single instrumentation or a one woman show that we see some of the DJs and more prominent pop stars doing.
Totally. We love to hear another one. What would you like to do?
Okay, so we all hear you definitely louder on the track. So I don't want to blast you guys, but this one's definitely going to be louder. This song is melding, disco and bringing it back. And this song is called Sugar Baby. So we're going to try it again with the stripped down version. Bear with me. I'm building the track literally as I go. And this is the first time we've ever done this with just the bass and drums. So let's hit it. Oh, it doesn't like it. Here we go. you're looking for a sugar baby, honey, it's not me. Oh, honey, if you're looking for a sugar baby, honey, it's not me. Oh, don't need Ferrari wind in my hair. Goosebumps from my favorite songs can take me there. Tiffany's has no hold on me, 'cause I'm not chasing down a diamond ring. That was the life. I must have been out of my mind. Honey, if you're looking for a sugar baby, honey, it's not me. Oh, it's not me.
Cami Galles, everyone. Cami Galles, not in Dallas, but in Kansas. Coming to you live. Show us some love. Wahoo.
I love it. I love how we have the pictures of the music video up.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo.
Raphael says he wants to see you bow. How's your bowing technique? Very nice. Got a lot of practice.
Yes. Yes.
What makes a good bow? He wants to know.
What makes a good bow is the when you're bowing from your hips. Definitely want to bow from the hips. You know, technically you could curtsy.
Sure. All right, so much love. Sugar Baby.
Sugar Baby.
When did you write that one?
I wrote Sugar Baby, so I have been working on Sugar Baby, gosh, before Sugar Baby was made into a song. I had been working on it since 2007. So it was a long time in the making. Okay. And I was working on it so long because, you know, this song is literally a bit about being with someone who is just mega rich but is super time poor. You know, I really wanted to be with this guy, but he just, you know, thought that I just cared about all the material stuff. And I said, no, you know, I just want to be with you. And I quickly learned that might not be an option because there might be 3 of me that that he's got, you know, going on and juggling. So, you know, just depends. So for me, I wasn't interested in being a sugar baby because I wanted to just genuinely be with him. But, you know, there are some people that are looking for a sugar daddy, but that's just not me. And that's what this song is about.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you have a lot of material to draw upon for these for these songs.
You know, 9 years in New York City, 9 years in New York City. So
yes. Yes. Is there a is it when you write about your personal, what's going on in your personal life, how careful are you to reveal, like, you don't want to name names maybe, or maybe you do, like, where do you walk that line between revealing too much and feeling vulnerable, and not doing that?
So I never name names just because I don't name names just because sometimes the person, I don't want them to think that I care that much, you know, because sometimes songs will come to me and then I'll realize, okay, I wrote that about this person, but what's more important to me is the lesson that I learned and the story that I can tell other people about it, you know, cautionary tale or fun tale or things to watch out for, things to celebrate. So I don't necessarily name names. I also, am cautious to really share who exactly the song is about, because like I said, I don't want to welcome them thinking that that I'm sitting around thinking about them and writing songs and just pining over them in my bedroom. So to me, it's more about the lesson. And sometimes some of my songs may start out about a past relationship, and then sometimes they'll include maybe a bad friendship or something I'm struggling with a family member. So sometimes the songs will mix different people. So that's another reason why I'm not saying, I'm not Taylor Swifting in the sense like, oh, this song is about John Mayer or, people like that.
Yeah, I think we lost you for a second. Is there a I have some questions coming about emerging songwriters. What advice do you have for someone who's just starting their career, who wants to take a similar path to you to achieve success and recognition in the music business?
Yes, my advice for anyone wanting to achieve success in the music business is to pursue it as much as you can and find out ways that you can earn money, because not all artists have to starve, but find out a way that you can make money through your craft, and don't put so much pressure on it in the very beginning. You may need to do a couple of things while still being in the same industry in music, just to be able to get that footing, so that you're not in a place, oh my gosh, if I don't make it, then I'm going to have to go, hawk insurance. And another thing I would urge anyone who wants to get into the music industry is start now. Start now, because everyone's at home, start now, learn how to play the guitar, sing into your phone, into your voice memo. That's literally where most of my songs are born. I mean, I've got 3 albums in there right now. So I would say start now. And also, no one really cares. People think that, oh my gosh, if I come out with this song and it's not perfect, I'm going to have to be embarrassed or shamed. Let me tell you, as an independent artist, it is very hard to get people to listen to your music. So just get going, get it out there, and allow for people to experience it. Because if you have all these great songs and all these great sounds and you're not putting them out there, then you don't really have them. So get going and, just be your own biggest fan, because not everybody is going to be able to come along with you in terms of championing you.
100%. One thing I liked about what you said, Cami, is that you're kind of demystifying the artist, the artist, who's just the artist. A lot of us need day jobs, or a lot of us need to do other things. So have you ever sensed sort of like a stigma for like working other careers while you try to be an artist? Like, oh, you must focus on one thing and do that well, when it's actually hard to do. So you saying this is actually sort of demystifying the process, where like an artist can do other things, and it's important not to just be a starving artist. So have you faced any pushback in your career to just focus on the art 100% and don't do other things?
Oh yeah, I mean, I've had extreme pushback from, sometimes, venues or even other musicians that I really look up to and I wanted to open for, or I wanted to put them on a bill, and they feel though, because you're not singing or you're not touring nationally, you're not living out of a van, then you're not on the same level as I am. And so that was really hard, and it's also challenging is that, I fund my own music career here. So for me, it's not an option I don't have a record contract. And quite frankly, I don't want a record deal. I want to be able to make the music I want, and to be able to touch lives and be able to perform when I want and make as many songs as possible. So you have to have 2 things, and being able to have the fortune and time to be able to have creative projects is a luxury that you usually get when you have money coming from a different source. And once you have money coming from your other job, then hey, if that's enough for you to pursue music full time, then great. But you shouldn't let driving for Uber, or being a typist or admin or a barista, get you down if you want to have a career in music. There's definitely room for everybody and room for all.
Yes, even mortuary technicians, any job.
Yes.
There's a lot of people out there who are out of work, and I encourage everyone to find work. And we need to get through this together, and not, shame people with other jobs, and we're all in it together, especially the creative industry. A lot of great artists from the history of time have worked other jobs. So what would you like to play as your last number?
So my last number is going to be a song called Victim.
I'm going to ask on the front end, who is the victim?
The victim is, you're going to learn in this song, the victim was actually me, because this person was pretending to be the victim and they were doing all the stabbing in my back, so I mean, we could go on and on about this one, but I'll just hit it.
By the way, before you start, I want everyone to go to Cami's website, camigalles.com. Let's put that up on the screen so people can make sure to go there. Also, go to Spotify to subscribe to her music so you get notified on her new singles. Obviously, she put her last album out, Correlated, in 2019, and she has singles from that record. So please support Cami on Spotify as well. And she's a prolific songwriter and artist, so you'll be notified often as she puts out wonderful music.
Yes.
CamiGalles.com.
Thanks for that shout out, Kabir.
Sure.
All right, as we said earlier, guys, we're doing the bare bones version of these, so it's going to be very fun and moody, but stripped down. All right, this is Victim. Oh, you like to play the victim when you're the one who stabbed me. Yes, you like to play the victim when you're the one who pushed me over the edge, over the edge. Yeah, you pushed me. There's a cloud over my rainbow, energy vampire in the shadow. Ask for a smile, then aim my heart. Signs of treachery from the start. Oh, you like to play the victim when you're the one who stabbed me. Yes, you like to play the victim when you're the one who pushed me over the edge, over the edge. Oh, you love to play the victim when you push me. Yeah, you push me over the edge. Over the edge. Thanks, guys. That was the condensed version of Victim.
We love the condensed version. Everyone show some love for Cami Galles on her quarantine concert premiere. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love you guys.
A lot of love. A lot of love. Now it's flowing like wine. All the applause. All right.
I see you. Hi, KK. Hi, Vidya. Hi, Ned. We love you. I'm so happy you guys are here. Standing ovation. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. You're making my quarantine. And I have flowers. Oh my gosh. Amazing. You guys made my Friday night. You made my Friday night. Love you.
All right.
I'm loving
All right.
this. I'm loving all the comments. I love that we've got comments on Instagram. We've got comments coming from our other simulcasts on all of our other platforms. It's just
Yeah.
amazing.
It's an interactive, and you'll see it throughout the week. I think people are really going to really love your music, and it's resonating. And that's why we wanted you on the show, because you're such a force, a creative force, a dynamic force. And I can't wait to see. I obviously listened to your entire album, was really blown away by it. And everyone really needs to go check it out because it'll help you get through this quarantine. I mean, good music always does. So we need more Cami Galles in our lives. And I'll be staying tuned to see what you put out in the future, because I'm a fan of yours and a fan of your aesthetic.
Oh, thank you, Kabir.
Thank you. So that's Cami Galles, everyone. I also want to give a quick shout out to Sound and Tech team on the project, Sandra and Camilo. And Sandra, they have put their website up there. If you're an artist and needs mixing and mastering services, any audio services, check out their website. If you mention one of their two dogs, Oreo or Maui, you may get a discount. So to look for that. And if you were watching at the beginning of the broadcast, drop a comment. What was the word of the day? What was the word of the day? You drop a comment on the screen, we will come recognize you, and we will put you up there. So we're going to start doing this at the end of the show. We'll be giving out this trophy. This trophy will be given to the word of the day winner. All right. So that's it for tonight. Tomorrow we are going to have a great broadcast. Remember, it's the weekend. So everyone, we have two shows. And the two shows, first is, well, the first, I think Jorge just announced it. So we got to put Jorge, let's put Jorge, you got it. Put the word of the day winner up there again and put Jorge Salas up there. Or your half winner, because I think it's Katya. So get Jorge's name. And while we're putting Jorge's name up there, I'll tell you about tomorrow. We have a great weekend lined up. Saturday afternoon, we have Hernan Milo coming in from Spain. He'll be broadcasting. And then tomorrow night, the great Greer Baxter, singer-songwriter. And then Sunday, Helen Sung on piano and an opera singer, Terry Barber. So everything is great. Join us tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern. Bye on Instagram. And bye, everyone. Stay home, stay safe. Good night, everyone.